Good evening. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. Once said by Thomas Alva Edison. Welcome to BMC News Live presented by Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers English News. Myself, Shana Sultana, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Inmates allowed to perform religious rituals in accordance with law. His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad directed to develop school gyms and implement sports school project. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister issued Ashura holiday circular. UAE's Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Initiatives provided 50,000 food parcels to people affected by heavy rains. India recorded its first monkeypox death.
Today's news in detail. Inmates allowed to perform religious rituals in accordance with law. The Directorate of Monitoring, Detention and Correctional Facilities at the Office of the Ombudsman today carried out an inspection visit to the Child Reformation and Rehabilitation Center to be informed about the coordination procedures and arrangements made by the center's administration to enable inmates to perform religious rituals related to the Ashura commemoration as guaranteed by law and its executive regulations. The Ombudsman's team collected information by asking samples of inmates about the subject in question, meeting the relevant officials from the center's management and reviewing the recording of the surveillance cameras installed in the buildings. The concerned inmates told the Ombudsman's team that they are allowed to practice Ashura rituals for this year collectively on a daily basis and that their gatherings are organized by the inmates themselves under the supervision of the center's management in large halls that have been allocated by management for this purpose. His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad directed to develop school gyms and implement sport school project. First Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports SCYS, President of the General Sports Authority GSA, President of Bahrain Olympic Committee BOC, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa directed the joint committee between GSA and the Ministry of Education to study the possibility of developing the school gymnasiums in coordination with the Ministry of Works. This is implementation of the directives of the representative of His Majesty King Hamad for humanitarian work and youth affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, to enable clubs and associations to use the school facilities. His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa also directed to start the school sports project, stressing the need to focus through the sports school on complementarity between applying the sports activities and following up on health, fitness and healthy nutrition for the students. Rain-affected citizens will be compensated. In implementation of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister's order to assess the water damages in Al Lazi area and compensate those affected by the recent rainfall in the aforementioned area, the Ministry of Finance and National Economy deposited compensation amounts to citizens affected by the rain in Al Lazi area. The Minister of Works, His Excellency Ibrahim bin Hassan Al-Hawaj, stressed his keenness to implement the order of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister with the Northern Governorate through the conducted field visits to the damaged houses. His Excellency Al-Hawaj affirmed the Ministry in coordination with the concerned authorities is following up on the implementation of sustainable solutions with high standards to ensure their quality in the Al Lazi area to provide efficient services for citizens and residents. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister issued Ashura holiday circular. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa yesterday issued a circular on the occasion of the Ashura holiday. According to the circular, the kingdom's ministries and public institutions will be closed on Monday and Tuesday, which is 8 to 9 August 2022. Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers Bahrain's COVID updates.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
The Avenues Bahrain to launch third carnival in collaboration with Bahrain Tourism and Exhibition Authority. The Avenues Bahrain has announced the launch of the Avenues Carnival for the third year. The carnival, in collaboration with the Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority (BTEA), will be held on August 18 to 27. The performers are set to showcase their talents at the special, spacious dome and Grand Avenue districts, and visitors of all ages will enjoy performances that combine circus tricks, theatre, and comedy for 10 days. Ministry of Housing announced new housing financing programs. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning held a press conference on Monday at the Isa Cultural Center to announce the launch of the new housing financing programs. The program had been earlier approved by Cabinet. The Housing Minister explained that the new housing financing programs are part of the Ministry's plans to implement the directives of His Royal Highness Prince Salman to increase the beneficiaries of the Mazaya housing program by an additional 500 this year, along with the introduction of more financing options for housing services. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning added that the Tasheel program will increase the minimum amount of financing from 19,000 Bahrain dinars to 40,000 Bahrain dinars, while increasing the cap from 60,000 BHD to 70,000 BHD, with no increase in payment deductions, which amount to 25% of the beneficiary's income. She also stated that the new features of Mazaya will increase the beneficiary's age cap to 40 years. HEC Secretary General chaired Advisory Committee meeting. Secretary Council HEZ and the Vice Chairperson of its Board of Trustees, Sheikh Dr. Rana bint Iza bint Daij Al Khalifa, chaired the 12th meeting of the Advisory Committee. The Secretary General expressed his appreciation to the committee's members of their efforts to achieve the objectives, contribute to the promotion of higher education, and provide sustainable services. His Highness Southern Governor chaired Security Committee meeting and praised Security Directorate's efforts. Southern Governor His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Ali bin Khalifa Al Khalifa yesterday chaired the 7th meeting of the Security Committee for 2022. The meeting was attended by Deputy Southern Governor Brigadier Issa Thamer Al Dusairi and officers representing Interior Ministry Security Directorates, in addition to the officials from the Southern Governorate. His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Khalifa Al Khalifa stressed the major role played by the Security Committee in implementing the directives of the Minister of Interior General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa to meet the security needs of the Governorate's citizens. Now we shall go for short commercial break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain. With over a decade of existence in Bahrain, exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. Since 2006, Magnum Imprint have been offering high standards of quality with our professional team that delivers all your advertising and promotional requirements efficiently and promptly. For more details, please contact 39887088 or 33856330 or 33542530.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education has announced the syllabus system for the upcoming academic year. The Ministry of Education has announced that the syllabus system for the upcoming academic year 2022 to 2023 in all kindergartens, schools, universities, government and private educational institutions at all stages will be mandatory attendance for all students. The Ministry clarified that there would be no choice for parents to attend their children to receive in-person or remotely learning, assuring its keenness to provide for all the requirements for a successful back to school. Al Hilal Hospital, Muharraq has done a free medical camp at Oriental Press. The employees were checked for blood pressure, blood sugar, height and weight. Many comprehensive checkup coupons were also distributed at the camp. UAE's Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Initiatives provided 50,000 food parcels to people affected by heavy rains. UAE's MBRGI Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Initiatives announced its support for people, especially workers affected by the harsh weather conditions that hit the eastern region last week by providing 50,000 food parcels and 10,000 ration cards. MBRGI, in collaboration with the UAE Food Bank and the Fujairah Charity Association, is directly supporting families and individuals affected by the repercussions of the heavy rains in the eastern region, most notably in Fujairah. The initiative aims to provide relief aid by distributing 10,000 ration cards that allow their holders to purchase basic supplies in addition to providing food parcels to beneficiaries. UAE revealed new anti-money laundering guidelines. The CBUAE, Central Bank of UAE, has issued new guidance on anti-money laundering and combating the financing of terrorism for licensed financial institutions on the risk related to payment and the preventive measures that LFIs should apply in order to integrate these such risks. The guidelines, which came into effect on August 1st, will further LFIs' understanding of risks and effective implementation of their statutory obligations and tasks, takes Financial Action Task Force standards into account. Licensed financial institutions have to demonstrate compliance with CBUAE's requirements within a month. UAE formed new committee to lead government digital transformation. The cabinet, headed by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai, approved the formation of the Higher Committee for Government Digital Transformation. The decision aims to create a supervisory steering committee affiliated with the Council of Ministers for the governance and development of the digital system for government services, business and operation in the federal government under the name of the Higher Committee for Government Digital Transformation. Saudi Arabia temporarily banned import of African monkeys and rodents. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Environment, Water and Agriculture issued an order to impose a temporary ban on the import of all types of rodents and non-human primates such as monkeys from the country in the African continent. The move is part of the precautionary measures to prevent the spread of monkeypox virus following a directive from the WHO, World Health Organization. Saudi Arabia launched Mawthook for social media users. Saudi Arabia has launched the Mawthook or verified program for social media users. It allows people to obtain licenses to post advertisements on social media, the General Commission for Audio-Visual Media announced on Sunday. By visiting the Commission's website, people can apply for a license valid for 3 years for 15,000 Saudi riyals, which is $4,000 provided they adhere to the government's content regulations and use an account registered with the Commission. The move aims to regulate advertising and also digital content sector in the kingdom. Kentucky floods killed at least 37 as more storms forecast. Floods unleashed by torrential rains in eastern Kentucky have killed at least 37, including 4 children, Governor Andy Beshear said on Monday while warning them that more dangerous weather is approaching the region. California forest fire killed 2. 2 bodies were found inside a burned-out car in the path of a huge northern California forest fire raging near the Oregon border, authorities said on Monday as crews battling the blaze for a 4th day took advantage of rainfall in the area. Authorities have yet to quantify the extent of property losses, but the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, or CAL FIRE, said that in an updated post on Monday that more than 4,900 homes were threatened by flames. India recorded its first monkeypox death. India has confirmed its first monkeypox death on Monday, a young man in the southern state of Kerala, in what is only the 4th known fatality from the disease in the current outbreak. Last week, Spain reported 2 monkeypox related deaths, and Brazil its first. And also, the death in India is also the first in Asia. The World Health Organization declared the outbreak of the global health emergency on July 23. The 22-year-old Indian man died on Saturday, Kerala's revenue minister told reporters, adding that the government has isolated 21 people who had in contact with him. The person reached Kerala on July 21st but visited the hospital only on July 26th when he displayed fatigue and fever, Minister K. Rajan said, adding that there were no reasons to panic as none of the primary contacts were showing symptoms. Supreme Court notice to center on police challenging Enforcement Directorate and CBI's chief's tenure extension. A Supreme Court has benched headed by Chief Justice of India CJI N.V. Ramana issued notice to the Centre on petitions filed by the Congress leader Randeep Singh Surjewala and Trinamool Congress TMC leaders Mahua Mohitra and Gokula among others. Also, the Supreme Court on Tuesday sought the centre's response on a clutch of petitions challenging the ordinances brought by the government to extend the tenure of the heads of the Enforcement Directorate ED and the Central Bureau of Investigation CBI up to 5 years. The matter has been kept for hearing after 10 days. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shana Sultana. Good night.